Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Shoshana and I'm a guide to life. And I want to talk a little bit about the void and feeling comfortable with the void and why the void is essential in living a fulfilled, um, fully expressed life. And as we're going through the spiritual awakening, and many times we go into these areas of void, we go into something has fallen out of our lives. And while we're going through the spiritual awakening, we're starting to listen to our inner calling and our inner vibration. And whatever is not aligned with that, we feel, and this is something that's beyond us. We don't it happens subconsciously. It's not necessarily something that is conscious, but we cannot be next to things that are out of alignment with our vibration any longer. So a lot of times when we start losing things, people, situations, jobs, and we have not yet filled that void, then we have this void. And in the beginning, when we first start waking up and we start, and we in the beginning of the spiritual awakening, it seems like we get into this run. We things start falling away, and we want to get ahead of ourselves. We want the process to happen quicker than it is happening, or we're very uncomfortable with that void or with that feeling of emptiness in our life, that all of a sudden there's this emptiness, and what does it all mean? And then we start trying to fill that void with things that are superficial, fill it with people. It could be sexual, it could be, touch, feeling of belonging. We start searching. It could be with things that just numb us. For instance, uh, pick up habits or things like that. And the further we progress, we realize that those things just don't fill anymore. They don't fill us. They don't give us that feeling of satisfaction, because they are superficial satisfactions. They are topical. They are remedies that are surface level. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a open wound. It just doesn't doesn't do it. We need to go in and clear out everything that is there, and only then can we begin to heal. So as we're during this opening process, there's many times that we hit voids, and we have to be able to become comfortable within those voids. And the reason for this is because when things fall out, it leaves space for what is in alignment with us to come in. And as we progress and as we expand, or as we go up levels, or as we pass through dimensions, we will bypass the different things that do seem in alignment with us, and then they fall out of alignment, and again we go into a void as we go up level and up level and up level. And it is a natural part of the process. So in order for us to allow life to offer us new experiences and new opportunities, we must be able to become comfortable in the void, always leaving space open for the universe to come in and surprise us. And the further we get along in this spiritual awakening or expansion process, because it's an expansion process. We are becoming more awake and more awake. Expansion, expansion, expansion. We're expanding, and the more times we go into that void, the more we realize that that void has come to serve us, and realize that we cannot hold on to anything, and that everything, it's kind of paradoxical, right? Because at some point you realize that there is always a void there. There's always space when you come into the perpetual now, and you are fluent. That means you are in the current, you are in flow of life. there you're always wide open. That means there's always a void there. It doesn't mean that you don't have things that fulfill you and fill you, and that you are satisfied in the void. And even more so than that, you enjoy having that space open so that you can allow new things to come in. So if you are full to the brim, if you are a cup and you are full to the brim and always full to the brim, and your schedule is packed, and you're scheduled 2 weeks in advance, and there's no room for anything in there, brand new magnificent opportunities, people, um, places to enjoy yourself in life, maybe presenting themselves over and over and over to you, but you will be so set already and closed off and not open, because you have, not only are you scheduled, you've already sold your future, right? You've already sold yourself 2 weeks in advance, no time for anything. And that's in good case. A lot of people have already scheduled months in advance if you have something that, and you leave no time just to be in the void. First of all, that is also running away, because a lot of times we get security in that scheduling, and we know exactly where we're going to be tomorrow morning. We're going to wake up. There's not going to be any question about what we're going to do. We have it all written in front of us, and we don't move from the schedule, or we know exactly where we're going to be at exactly every time, and everything is fit in perfectly. And this can also be, there, everything that I say, there are, of course, it is not absolute. There is nothing that is absolute, right? Um, so a lot of people, their personalities, the way that they express themselves is that they are the structure holders. They are the ones that hold those structures together. And in that way, that would be kind of like their calling on for humanity, to be able to structure things for humanity. So if that is their calling, then that is what they are meant to be. But you have to know within yourself if you are holding those structures as a coping mechanism, so that you feel comfort, so you don't feel lost or in a void, or you get up in the morning and you're just left with yourself and you don't know how to cope with yourself. So you want to fill every moment so that you're constantly kept busy. So you have to recognize within yourself that, a lot of times this could be a coping mechanism, so that you're not left by yourself with a void and time that is not what is the word? Not accomplished, but time that is not like already called for. I can't find the word. Um, I'm not going to get stuck on it. And so in life, if we want life to be able to bring us new experiences, if we want life to offer us up antes, like possibilities of new things that we don't already know, if we want, if there are things that we want and we put out the request into the universe, we have to leave space, because we don't know how those things will show up in our lives, right? So we have to leave time of just doing the mundane things and allowing space. It may be boring to fold clothes. I'm the reason I have a pile of clothes over there. I have actually two piles of clothes over there that need to be folded. And we may find it boring, or to get the paperwork ready for the accountant, which I also have on the agenda for today at some point. And so those things may seem as boring or mundane. Maybe for some people they seem exciting. I don't know, but for me, and but in just doing those mundane things and allowing my mind not to be caught up in whatever it is that I'm going through at the moment, just letting my mind roam, and those things are part of life as well, and just allowing space, taking an easy day, just allowing space for the universe to bring in new things. You have to allow space for your expansion, and you have to learn how to become comfortable in the void. And comfortable in the void doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a void. It's comfortable with yourself in every moment, no matter what, enjoying the moment as it is, enjoying the quiet, enjoying the boredom, even if you consider it to be boredom. Inside of boredom, beautiful things are born. When you and I don't have a TV, so it's kind of I we have my boys have in their rooms TV. So I every once in a while I'll watch a movie, or I'll get into a series or something every once in a while. I'm talking about every couple of months or a few months or something like that. Or if somebody suggests something, we have Netflix. My boys have the options in their room. Anymore, it seems like everybody's just stuck to their screens. But if you fill your life also with constantly having to entertain yourself, constantly I once wrote down a concept that is a concept of the shiny ball syndrome that humanity is suffering from. Shiny ball syndrome means that there's always some kind of something external trying to grab your attention and pull you away from going inner work. Everybody, everything, advertisers are using manipulation with colors that we don't naturally see in nature. Sounds, constant noise, trying to get your attention. Look over here, look over here. Everybody is trying to grab your attention, especially advertisers, and they're trying to take from you. They're trying to pull out of you, trying to take from you money, trying to get you to buy their product, trying to get you to give them fame, give attention. They're always trying to take something from you. Our taste buds are out of whack. It's like our senses are overstimulated in such a way that we are constantly in our gross, which means our large um, 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 sensitivity. Our sensitivity has been pulled out of whack. So, and a lot of times when we don't have that quiet, we can't even pick up on the little tiny nuances. If you're so busy in your life and running, you won't hear the birds chirping because you're so in your mind, it doesn't even register. Whereas in nature, we are connected to the animals. We're connected to the birds. This morning, I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to the birds chirping, and I was thinking to myself, "Wow!" And it was quiet because there's no cars, barely any machinery. We don't realize how noisy our lives have become. We are overstimulated. Our sight, our hearing, our taste buds, even our smells. Everything is so overstimulated or understimulated, right? Touch, we're understimulated with touch. The only time, many times in many relationships, the only time that we get any kind of touch is when it's going towards sexual. So a lot of times, even if we're avoidant of receiving touch if we don't feel sexual. And touch has become out of don't get into my space, my personal space. And so we've come into a place, and in touch, there is a lot of healing in touch that is not sexual. Just touch. It's like a mother touches their baby, and we're taught even to put the baby in the crib to cry. And I am also been in that. I've also been there, done that. Thank you for coffee. Before it cools off. And so either we're totally overstimulated to where it's like gross motor skills. We have gross motor skills our senses are in override, constant override, which makes our brain constantly be buzzing, because in nature There's a lot of calm. There's water. In nature, we would have had to live by a source of water in order to survive. You can't grow fruit, food. So you would have the sound of water, which is relaxing, or the sound of the birds, which I was thinking, that's why I was coming back to it. When I woke up this morning with all the birds chirping, I was a kind of halfway awake when they started chirping, and they start chirping as soon as the sun starts coming up, like right at the twinkle of dawn. And I started hearing one bird, and then another bird way off, and then more birds. And then within 5 minutes, there was like a harmonium. It was so loud. And I was thinking back in the Bible days, I'm sure that people were that was the alarm clock, how nature works together. The birds would have been started to chirp so loud that you wake up with the birds. It's like the chicken kookaroo in the farm, with the books where the chicken wakes up the rooster. It crows at dawn and wakes up the people, and the people go to sleep at dark because you don't have the artificial light. Another thing that I've been noticing nowadays with the LED lights is all of the lights where I live, the other spiral lights, the ones that use a little bit more electricity, have been outlawed. So now all we have are the LED lights, and the LED lights are not good for us. And I have this plant. I'll show you really quick. Over there, you see the plant that's going along the up here along the windowsill. And so up there, right there, I have these lights. They're like these three spotlights they're supposed to be like night lights, but they're really strong. And whenever the kids turn them on, it burns the plant. And they turned it on the other day, and I keep on telling them, they turned it on and it killed the whole strand. I'm going to have to go down and take out the whole strand. But just from the lamp being, it wasn't even touching, and it wasn't close enough to get too hot. It's just from that artificial light that the whole strand of the plant died. Maybe I'll take you over there and show it to you really quick, just so you can see what I'm talking about. You see here, up here, wait, let me see if you can see. This leaf, first of all, you see it's black up at the top. And then you see right behind it over there, the whole plant died. And it's not even, it like burnt out just from receiving that light. And that was something that I've noticed before. Let me show you where I live, if you're already with me. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and sum this up. This is my balcony. Down there you can see the lake. It's kind of, it's there. The lake is there. It's kind of, and this is my view from the balcony. That is some plants that I'm drying. So, getting back, I'll just kind of sum up that we have to leave some kind of void in our life in order to allow new things and exciting things to come in. And the more that we can come into that calm place, that means try to get out of the overstimulation. Even if you live in the city, then find somewhere that is serene to be, where it cuts out all of the noise, where you can kind of quiet the buzzing, the constant buzzing, and come into a place where you can actually hear your own thoughts. But before you can even hear your own thoughts or hear your own emotions, or tune your senses to the finer aspects, you have to first stop the buzz. It's like you can't go from 100 to 0. You have to quiet. It means not be constantly connected to something external that is stimulating your whole entire being, constantly stimulating you. And And then you can start really hearing your inner self and really feeling what your emotions. You can start tuning your guidance system, right? Your inner compass. You can start hearing it over the external noise, but you have to quiet that external in order to hear the internal and find that connection. And so it is very important to have a void, even if the void at first is very, very uncomfortable and even painful. It can be very painful to be in that void. Like, I have to do something, I have to do something. It's also guilty. You feel guilty. I'm not doing, I'm not producing, I'm not, we're so taught that we have to do and produce and prove ourselves and be accomplished and be productive, that we kind of, as humanity, and this isn't absolute, again, we kind of lost the ability and capability of just being for a minute. And once you quiet that and you just be in your center, you allow space for the universe to bring you new things. Especially if you want new things and you're requesting new things, you have to allow the universe to lead you. And the only way you can allow them to lead you, it to lead you, them to lead you, God to lead you, the universe to lead you, nature to lead you, is if you start allowing to follow. And allowing to follow, you have to quiet everything down so that you can even be aware, so that you can even pick up on the signs that are trying to present themselves. They are all around you all the time. You don't have to worry, I missed a sign. They are there every day and every minute, every second. It is the universe. All options are open all around you all the time. All emotions, just like people can feel many different emotions, those energies are all around you all the time. Every single sign that you need to lead you to your sovereignty, to your release, to your enlightenment, are all around you in every moment, in every aspect of your life. You don't have to worry. You are just having to open up your own consciousness to be aware and to be able and capable of reading those signs. So you never have to worry about, I'm going to miss it. What if the signs don't show up? They're there. They're always there. It is impossible for them not to be there. They are everywhere in nature, in the way that the leaves expand, in the way that things happen, cause and effect. It is always there for you to connect to. You don't have to worry. It's just purifying yourself to be able to comprehend it, to be able to see the signs, even to allow yourself to be led. And in order to allow yourself to be led, you have to quiet all the external, quiet the internal, learn how to be comfortable in that void. Learn every time you feel that void and that uncomfortableness in the void, remind yourself, okay, good, I'm happy that I'm in a void. That means that something has fallen out, which leaves space for what is more attuned to me to come to me. My job is to purify my vibration so that what needs to come to me can find me. I'm a magnet. I don't need to go out searching. It's desperate. I am a magnet. It will come to me. It will show up in my life because I am, and I am worthy. And I am sending you guys so much love. Thank you for watching this video. This was a good one. And if you would like one-on-one with me to kind of look at what you're going through and get some perspective and reflection, then my contact information is below in my website. Thank you so much.